Hey, what's up everyone? It's Bored. What I'm gonna do is going to show you guys the new Slayer range dungeon. That's called the Ascension dungeon. You can find it in the right above mobilizing armies. Um, it's just a little northeast of there. It's really easy if you die to get back to your grave, because the grave will respawn right outside. Um, The bosses themselves, I don't really see as worth it. Um, Camped there for quite a while, got a few keys. Never really got anything more than like 30k. So, the dungeon itself, I suggest at least looking into. I'm going to show you guys the fastest way to get there, and that is the Ring of Dueling. Um, so what you're going to do, as soon as this loads, just gonna rub and then teleport to mobilizing armies. Unfortunately, this is very laggy, but there's not much I can do about it. The only way to do this dungeon really any good is to show like how much time and effort they put into like the detail and stuff. It looks great. Um, little background information. It is about Gothics. Um, there is one main guy that you'll see outside the building, who I will show you quickly. He's kind of the guardian of the area, and he doesn't allow anyone to get out. He didn't want to participate in this. He's one of the few people of Gothics that understood Gothic's wish, which was not to be worshipped, and that's him. I do not know how to pronounce his name. I'm not even going to attempt it. So I'll leave it at that. That's how it's spelled. Do not know how to pronounce it. Um, Before you go in, which I probably should have showed you at the beginning, is what kind of armor you should have going into this kind of area. I'm just doing Karil's. It's cheap. It's got a good high mage bonus. Chaotic crossbows, Glaven boots, mercenary gloves, which are from Dungeoneering, if you guys have done it. Royal bolts, the Slayer cape that I got not too long ago, and a berserker ring. Helping me in this video is Monty. I'm sure a lot of you guys that are going to see this video will recognize Monty and know who she is. And as far as I'm concerned, in we go. As you can see, this place looks great. It's dark. It's got all of the monsters, NPCs, whatever you'd like to call them. They're like a really bright light blue. There are 4 kinds, and I will show you each one and kind of give you like tips on each one. Just to show like the map and the area that we're dealing with here. There are a grand total of 6 bosses, and they're all pretty much the same style to a certain extent. There's only one of them I have not faced personally, and that is this one. Again, not going to butcher names. And they're each kind of the same, mainly the same. Some of them have like their own little special ability that they do have, and um, it takes a while to get used to. Nonetheless, each one, it's really weird. Uh, that one, Tertius, whatever, he spawns the 4 kinds of different monsters that you'll see throughout the dungeon, and actually I believe only 3. It does not spawn the shield guy that I've seen, but spawns 3 of them, healing, stuff like that, and can be a little bit of a pain, not too bad. Quintus, doing my best with the names here. Quintus will do lasers, and he will try to section off where you can go and where you can't go. And so if you pass a laser, then you're going to take like around 2,000 damage. I think it depends on how much health you have. And then lastly, the one I've seen that has like a different kind of style about it is Quartus. Quartus will teleport you closer to him, similar to the dungeon boss. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he's like, come here, and brings you over, and then he'll immediately do the shockwave after, and I'll talk more about the shockwave later. There are a couple new items as well as new weapons, as you probably saw the Ascension weapons and Ascension keys that you can now see in the Grand Exchange. And then there's also the bolts that you can make out of the shards, and then there's also fragments which you can use to upgrade, like bronze bolts from what I've heard. There is to become like tipped bolts. They're really weak. I think they're just for low level players. They're nothing really special. Now I'm going to go over like the different kinds of monsters that are down here. You got the most basic ones. Not even going to try. Not even going to try. But if you attack one, there is a chance that all of them will gang up on you and attack you. For some reason, it's not always when you attack one, but from what I've seen, the very first time you go off and you try to attack one of these, they'll all gang up on you, and it's not necessarily fun. Kind of like the second stage, like the second one, is Gladius. Gladius is a complete pain. He teleports, he stuns you. It's a complete pain. I'll try to show you. Jumps back. For some reason he didn't stun. He usually does. If you try to do like a longer ability, then he will. And then there's the next one, which I'm killing now, which is the healer. It is really easy to kill. It's not supposed to last long, but if you are attacking a different one while the healer is trying to heal that monster, then it's whenever you see the plus 100s coming from a healer going to like a specific guy, make sure you take out that healer, or else you will not get that kill. And so that's 3 of the 4. There's one more. And that is the shield guy. The shield guy can be worth it if you have a good partner that is on the same page. For right now, I have Monty. I believe she knows how to handle the shield guys. I don't recommend killing these unless you have a good partner and there's enough space for you to work with. So basically, one of the people is going to go and attack. Monty doing what she's supposed to do. Goes behind, tries to get behind, and then she'll be able to do a lot more damage than I will do from front. It's basically distraction and attacking from behind. They really don't do that much damage. They're not that tough. As you can tell, they can be trapped in like corners and stuff, which is not fun to get them out of. But if you simply right click and then walk there, they will move. Thankfully, I'm glad they gave me one of these. There are the order pages. The pages go towards a book. As you see here, the history of the order, which just gives a little bit more information. I believe there's 20 pages or 21, something like that, that you need to grab. They will give you a little bit more detail about Gothics and kind of what's going on. And then if you actually complete the book, then you take it to the guy up front, the one that starts with O, that I refuse to pronounce, and he'll give you even more in-depth look of what's going on. Now, as I said before, the keys to the bosses are buyable. They can be found in the Grand Exchange. These keys will have a set name to them, going to like a specific boss, and you need to kill each and every boss and receive that drop to receive the piece to the crossbow. There are many places where I've tried to like camp and see how many keys I could get. The place I personally recommend is the place I'm at now, which I'll show you, and that's if you have a partner, because they're also shield guys, and so you can kind of get a mix of like every single one. And then the area was before, which is the water area near this table. The dashing ones, I've had the best success. They die fairly easily, and they give keys, and so it's definitely a recommend. And then the last area, I have no idea what's back there. It requires 90 agility. I do not have that anytime soon. Thought I would mention it, 90 agility to get back there, but I have no idea what's back there. I think it's just more of the monsters that more exclusive to the 90 agility. And then there's only one more thing to show, really, and that is the statue of Gothics. Located in the middle, you will see this large statue laying down. It is Gothics. It's supposed to resemble them. You can click it, examine it, do whatever. You'll get this message, and the whole thing is basically about Gothics, and yeah. One thing that there is to mention about this place is the monsters that come from this area are not from Glymer. It is mentioned in the book, it's mentioned elsewhere, it's something to take note, and so it is possible that we will see more monsters, more beings, whatever you'd like to call it, from a different place. It may come into play with the new area. Now, as I mentioned before, you do get shards. These shards can be used for fletching experience. Fletching experience. They do give quite a bit, 200 per 10, and it's not bad. They also drop headless arrows as long with steel and mithril arrowheads. It's not a bad place to camp. by all means. Day after release, so the 5th, the keys are down to around 600 to 750K each. That's from what I have personally seen. So if you can't for keys, it may not be bad. But as for bosses themselves, if you go for the crossbow, good luck. You need to get all 6 keys, which is not fun, and it's very risky. The bosses are difficult. The best advice I can give you for every single one is hit and run. Hit, do an ability, move over a couple squares, and continue to do that repeatedly for the entire fight. It is awful. Do not use abilities like rapid fire, unload, which is the two-hand ability for range. Any of these abilities will get you caught and you will most likely die. I strongly recommend food, best armor, best health bonus you can find. Anything that can help you, go for it. Range gear. Don't believe I'm missing anything. The reason I do not recommend the bosses, by the way, is their common drops are awful. I think the most I got was 30K. Absolutely terrible. And so I never got a crossbow piece, but I just don't see it being worth it, in my opinion. Think that's about it. Good luck getting crossbow and keys, whatever you decide to do. Whether you're just here for fletching experience, then go for it. It wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, have fun.